All righty. I have to just get on one other platform. Let me put these side by side so I can see. I think I get better reception on my phone, but we will see. It's my first time going live on my Facebook channel on my computer in a while. So we shall see. We shall see. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I just got out of class. So let me get on. I'm going to get on my new TikTok page real quick. So today's this is pretty much part 2 of what I started yesterday, talking to you all about basically if you live in the US, you should have a business, you should have a trust, you should have asset protection, you should have a couple of things. So let's go over that. Let me just hit live on my. And I think I'm gonna go more into the gig worker tonight, which is the 1099. Some of you all, I don't know where this music is coming from, but hopefully it goes away. Where is that music coming from? It's on this thing. All right. So because I normally go on my cell phone on Facebook, I decided to try. I don't know what this music is. Hopefully it goes away. So today I said, okay, I'll come on. I don't understand why that music is playing in the background, so I'm gonna just end the live and restart it. Okay. I think we are ready now. Let me expand this a little bit more so I can see any comments if we get any. So hello. Good evening. So yesterday I got on and I started a conversation with you all about why it is important to have a business if you live in the United States of America. Okay. Somebody texting Trust right now. Y'all already see it behind my head. Let's roll. Let's roll. Inez, you said I was hating. I finally made a live on time. Hey, during the I got so much going on now, like during the day, especially with us rounding up this last week of taxes. I'm gonna talk about that too, because it's not really the last week. You can still file your taxes after the 15th if you deal with an e-file agent. But because it's almost tax deadline, a lot of people are coming, and I still have some clients that we still have to wrap up. So these next 2 weeks, I'll probably be getting on in the evening later like this. I literally was just on my property management class. Oh, not hating, happening. Was happening. So yeah, you'll probably see me more on like this more in the evening. So hello. Good evening. I know it is later in the evening for some of you all, and some of us, we are here just getting started, right? So tonight I wanted to continue the conversation that we were having yesterday. Oh, let me go on TikTok and mirror my. There we go. So I'll move my head out the way when I'm ready to tell y'all about the class. So I wanted to finish the conversation that we started yesterday, or continuation of it. I'm basically saying that this is a part 2 of yesterday's workshop. So yesterday, I explained to you all why it is important for you to have a business if you live in the United States of America. Okay. And then I also explained to you all how a lot of people think that certain things are only for the wealthy, and it's not, right? And so this is what I really want you all to kind of learn tonight and understand, that every single thing that you see that goes on, right, as far as taxes, business, systems, this is something that all of you all can do. All right. And so that's kind of what I was breaking down and explaining yesterday, was how business works, kind of the breakdown of business. This is the sheet that I started yesterday. Y'all, now what I'm not about to do on this free internet, okay? Free internet, because we do have paid groups and classes. But I'm not about to use up all of my whiteboard paper to keep showing y'all stuff, right? So what I'll do is just kind of go over, just kind of summarize what we talked about yesterday, right? And I'm gonna just put this up here now before we kind of get started too much, that what you all can sign up for. Okay. So before I kind of get heavy into some of the stuff we're gonna go over tonight, I'm not gonna be on here long tonight. I'm getting off of here by like 10:30. So trust. If you've never heard of a trust, we're gonna talk about that a little bit. But I am hosting a free workshop with my business partner, my wealth advisor, who actually taught me everything that I know regarding trust, regarding asset protection, regarding protecting your income, and regarding also the tax code. Right? I'm a tax and business strategist. I have over 22 years in the tax, banking, financial services industry. I've been filing and preparing taxes over the last 18 years, right? For corporations, S corps, LLCs, partnerships, non-for-profits. So I'm very well versed in the tax code, right? But when you start working with people and building your own wealth, right? Buying land, property, start making more income, you want to save on paying taxes. It's a difference from tax evasion, and it's a difference from tax planning, right? Planning it out, learning what you need to do and be able to set things up. So all of you all who work and have your regular 9 to 5, or you are 1099, a lot of people don't know this, right? And so this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about when you have certain assets. I knew that was going to happen because it's attached to this one. It's like too heavy. it fell on me earlier. I didn't want to put any tape up here because I knew I was going to pull it off. So that's how it's going to be right now. I'm setting up my studio. So this is kind of like my little makeshift space right now. Okay. But within a couple of weeks, I'll be having my studio and it'll look nicer when I'm doing these lives. But recap of what we talked about yesterday, right? So if you want us to get into the workshop, I'm hosting a free workshop on Monday, which is on Columbus Day, the holiday, at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for those of you all who might be in Eastern Time Zone, okay? Now, what was I getting ready to say? What do I say? Oh, this is the class. So you could text me. You can text right here to this phone number, 872-253-9272. You could text TRUST, and I'll send you the link. I think I put the link down here in the bottom of the video, but maybe I didn't. You may or may not see it. I don't know. But, okay, that's where we're going. And let me get out the way. Now, from yesterday's continuation, that's what we're gonna roll with over here, okay? Yesterday's continuation. Let me move this back just a little bit. Give me my pull back. Okay. So from yesterday's continuation, I don't need this sweater on now. It's warm here. This is what we kind of discussed, right? So if you have a 1099, I mean, if you are a W-2 wage earner, so a lot of people are W-2 wage earners. If you're a W-2 wage earner, Instagram, you won't see much because I don't know how to turn this thing around or mirror it. So you might want to come on over to my YouTube channel. So everybody that's on Instagram, you can come on over to my YouTube channel. Now, everybody that is on my TikTok page, you should be able to see it. But everybody that's on YouTube, you probably can't. I'm not YouTube, Instagram, you probably can't see the board here behind me. So let me see. Yeah, because I don't know how to turn it around. I'm gonna have to put ask ChatGPT to tell me how to mirror it before I go live on here. Because I know it's a way to do it. I just didn't do it. Plus, I want more of you on my YouTube channel anyway. Okay. So just come on over to YouTube. I'm Patrice L. Stewart on YouTube. All right. Plus, you'll be able to catch the replay. So yesterday, I broke down. I'm not doing no more writing tonight. I did a lot of writing yesterday, so I'm tired. And I've been in class all day today. But the recap of what you see here is basically what I did was go over the light over. Maybe it worked. Okay. So yesterday, what I did was we went over this breakdown. Someone who's a W-2 wage earner versus somebody who has a business or is considered a 1099 or self-employed, right? Some of you all actually have a business. Some of you actually are a business and you don't even know it. So for this example, what I'm saying is, like, if you are a 1099, if you didn't know that, if you are a 1099 and you get a 1099 from your job, you are considered an independent contractor. So when you're considered an independent contractor, you're filing this income on a Schedule C. Okay. So with the Schedule C, you can take different deductions and expenses that other people can't, right? If you are a W-2 wage earner, you don't get to take deduction and expenses from your income. That's the biggest difference, all right? So when you are a W-2 wage earner, in this example, we talked about you made $50,000, you're going to pay about, on average, 10% in taxes. It could be more. Okay. But on average, we're looking for at least 10% of taxes to be taken out. And then I'm in Illinois. Some states don't have taxes. So some of y'all are in Texas or Florida and you don't have state taxes, right? Which is a great thing for you. But for those of us who are in states that do have taxes, you not only have federal taxes coming out your income, you also have state taxes, right? And then the difference with that is you still have additional expenses coming out like Social Security, health care, other deductions that you may or may not have. Some of you all have pensions. Some of you, have, like I said, different deductions. There may be some other deductions besides FICA, Medicare, and Social Security coming out of your check, right? So when you're a W-2 wage earner, this is what that looks like, basically. Okay. Now, we use that same example. Well, I kind of went and increased the money, but we use that same example here. And I kind of went a little higher, right? So I kind of went a little bit higher where I used the same example, but I used it as $100,000 in income and then $100,000 in income for the business. So, because again, we in business, your income might be a little bit different. The difference with someone who's in business is when they make their income, they get to write off expenses. So they may have rent, they may have office expenses, they may have a vehicle that they have for the business, and they may have equipment. So we use some of these examples, which came out to a total of about $54,000. And then I added an additional set of expenses of about $36,000. So in this example, a business owner can make $100,000. But after they write off all of their expenses, this down here is what we would call their net profit, right? Up here could be gross profit. But then this is the gross profit here, the income. I'm sorry, this is the gross sales, right? But then in business, you get to deduct what you had to spend to make this sale, to make these sales. So this will be gross sales. And then down here, after your expenses, this will be gross profit or net income, right? So because I'm a business, I made 100,000. I had 90,000 in expenses. We went kind of high here with the expenses, like if you were starting out the business the first year. And then saying that you are only paying taxes on 10,000, right? But for those of you all who are a W-2 wage earner, you can't do that. You can't say, oh, I want to write off expenses. I had all these different expenses to get back and forth to my job, to get back and forth to work. I had to pay for parking. I had to do this. I had to do that. You can't write all of that off with a W-2. So with a W-2, you're still getting taxed, right? You're still paying taxes for federal. And again, if you have state taxes, then you're paying state taxes. But someone who's on a W-2 pays more in taxes than someone who has a business on average. And a lot of people don't really know that. Some people do. A lot of people don't really know that. And then some people don't really know that to the point to where we're breaking it down tonight. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what I went over yesterday. Okay. So what I went over yesterday, I'm going to just kind of continue from that. And what I'll do is I'll say most people, right? Most people when we, hold on, y'all. Sorry. I'm going to go. Hold on, y'all. One moment. Most people aren't even aware that they can do that. That's what I wanted to say. That was my point. Is most people, when you are a 1099 worker, most people don't even know that they have that option to write off taxes and things like that. Okay, let me hit live. My TikTok thing went. My camera is real foggy on here, but we're going to roll with it. Okay. Right. So most people don't really know that. So that's what I wanted to break down with today. Even if you are a 1099, you still have certain expenses that you can write off. But if you're a W-2 wage earner, you don't get those same expenses, right? And so when you are living in the United States of America, we have to talk about systems, right? And that's what I like to kind of show and share with you all when I'm on here is systems, right? What is the system? What is put into place that kind of sets a lot of us back, right? And so a lot of people don't think about that. And that's why I wanted to break this down, because everyone that works a 9 to 5, and we'll say a W-2 wage earner, you all are taxed a lot more in this country than those of us who are actual businesses or business owners. And the reason why that is because, unfortunately, it's in our systems, right? It's in our systems that, and when I say systems, it's in our laws. All right. So the IRS is a tax code. That's the one who manages the tax code that we have. For those of us like myself who has studied the tax code and learned to understand how America really works, right? And so I've shared that with you all several times before that, we're taught one way in America, but it's really not the real way, right? And so the way that we've been taught in American society and school society is to go to school, get a degree, go to college, get your education, right? And then what's the next thing? After you go to school, get your college degree, then you're looking to have a job, right? You're looking to get have an employer hire you. They don't talk to you about entrepreneurship or starting your own business, right? That's not what's kind of necessarily talked about. So one of the other things, that's why it's not allowing me to do that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to do 8 things. That's probably why I sound slow. Y'all probably looking like me. Why is this girl talking like this? I'm trying to do something and I'm not on here. Okay, there we go. I disconnected it. I was trying to disconnect something so I could get on another platform. And it wasn't allowing me. And I'm like, why is this not allowing me to do this? All right, so now YouTube is all the way up. That's what I wanted. I wanted to just be only on YouTube on my computer. I was on another platform on my computer. I feel like it's messing me up. Okay, now I can put my Bluetooth back on. Now I can put my Wi-Fi back on. And then I can disconnect from over here. All right, there we go. I think we're good to go now. All right, there we go. You said, I'm going to probably need some help. You probably will, and that's okay. Look, that's the whole point of me being on here, and that's why I'm saying, like, you all do have to know and understand when to talk to professionals, right? That's part of the reason of me being on here is saying that. So let's see. Okay. I lost my whole train of thought. Okay. 1099 and W-2. I'm ready, y'all. I'm sorry. I was doing some other stuff. So now I'm focused here on the live. All right. So 1099 and W-2. When you are 1099, again, you can write off expenses. Let's just use Uber as an example. That's what I was talking about yesterday. For those of you all who may drive Uber on the side, and that they're going to send you a 1099 at the end of the year if it's over. Did they go to the $600 thing already? Because at first Uber wasn't sending y'all those 1099s if you didn't make more than 20,000. But I want to say last year they switched that, and now you all get the 1099 if it's anything over 600. Technically, in the IRS rule book, that's what it says, right? If you pay anybody over $600, you can issue them a 1099, basically. 1099 NEC, non-employee compensation, right? And for those of you all, if you didn't know this, I want y'all to know this. If you did not know this, those of you all who are paying rent, now some of my people may not like that, but those of you all who are paying rent, you can actually issue a 1099 miscellaneous to your landlord, or get one sent. I mean, you can technically not pay them. You can technically not write off, but report the money that you spent when you are paying rents to your landlord. But again, a lot of you all won't necessarily be able to take that deduction because you don't have a business. Now, if you had a business, like for me, I can actually issue my office landlord a 1099 because I'm paying them money, income that comes from my business, right? And this is why I talk about the importance of you having this business, because once you start getting and doing certain things, okay, and that's the whole point, is as you're making income, you have expenses. So if I'm paying $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month to my landlord for my office, I want to be able to write that off. I want that to be able to be a tax deduction. So for me, it's a tax deduction. But another way that I can write off that income or report that income that I wrote off is by issuing them a 1099. It's like showing proof to say, hey, I paid this money out to this person, to that person, and then the IRS knows that you didn't keep all of this money, right? So that's one of the things that, we help with people as well do when they're filing their taxes, and some of my business clients. But the biggest thing is if you all live in the United States of America, the system that you have been taught and told is not the system that really it works for you and benefits you, right? And this is the conversation we were talking about last night, which was you're taught to go to school, get an education, maybe you get a college degree, right? Maybe you have a college degree, and maybe you are, I'm gonna move you over here so I can see you a little bit better. I'm gonna put you over here. I got both my phones up. I gotta get better with my streaming services. I'm gonna probably come on here tomorrow on my Zoom from my Zoom account, because then I can just, there we go. Now y'all out the way. Oh, y'all can't hear me. Oh, there you go. Right. So for those of you all who are I'm sorry, y'all. I'm all over the place. I got a lot. I'm trying to move and put this thing on camera the right way so you can see clearly. Okay. So that's the system that they tell you. Go to school, get an education, get the college degree, go get a job. Nobody usually talks to you about entrepreneurship, right? And then you go get this job, and sometimes it does not cover that 6-figure degree that you have. But then you're also told to go buy you a car and go buy you a house, or go buy you a car and go rent a house or apartment, right? That's kind of the system that America has kind of set up. Now, one of the things that we don't talk about, that we're not taught, is technically all of those things are a bill. All of those things are another bill, technically, right? Your apartment that you live in, for those of you that are renting, all right? And this is kind of why after so long we talk about buying and owning, right? And or leading to owner, because I've heard people say, oh, well, even when you have your house and your mortgage, you don't own it all the way until you pay it off. So you don't really own it for 30 years. Now, that could be true. But the difference is, When you have an asset, something like real estate, right? Something like a home, a 3-unit building, 2-unit building, 4-unit building, multi-unit, we'll just say multi-unit building, right? The difference with that is yes, you may not be paying it off until 30 years, but it's still an asset and it's valuable, right? Because most of the time in real estate, normally it appreciates, right? But when you buy that car and you go and get that car note, and the second that you drive it off the lot, it instantly depreciates. So it's not as it can be an asset, right? But a lot of times it's not, especially when y'all got a brand new car, right? So let's say you buy a brand new car that's 50,000. The moment you drive it off the lot, it probably has tanked down by, let's say, $10,000. So now that $50,000 that you're paying, right now, the asset wise, it has decreased. You're not going to get that same $50,000 that you paid for it, right? And so that's how you got to kind of think. In America, you want to start buying assets or creating businesses or creating a secondary source of income first. And that's not really how you're taught. You're taught to all of this, do all this spending, clothes, shoes, cars, right? Living, everyone needs to have a place to live. So that's standard. But either you're going to be renting or you're going to look at owning, right? And so as you get older, you kind of want to start having that conversation with yourself as far as like, what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to leave behind? What is it that you actually want to achieve? If you have kids, do you want your kids to have property? Do you have a life insurance policy? Do you want, you know what I'm saying? You got to start asking yourself these questions as you're growing and building and getting older. And some of those things, or some of those things that's going to help you do that, is creating a business or maybe buying a property, right? Or I would say those are my main two. I would say real estate and business. And the reason why I say real estate and business is because the top 1 to 10%, that is majority of their assets. That's majority of their wealth is real estate, stocks, right? Investments, because money has to continually work. You get what I'm saying? If you all have money sitting in a shoebox, it's not doing nothing for you. If you have money in a savings account that's paying you 0.000%, that's not doing nothing for you, right? So money has to actually be working. It works better when it's consistently working. When you have it in a high yield account, when you have it in an investment account, when you're putting some funds maybe into crypto, right? But as you start building and getting your life insurance policy, getting your, stocks or your investment accounts, buying your first piece of property or land, now you have assets. And so you want to be able to protect those assets. So it's levels to this, right? You may not do everything the first day, the first year, right? The first couple of years. You might buy a building, and then you may live in that building for a year or two. And then you may buy another building, right? Because now after you bought your first building, now you have income coming in. We call that passive income. And I'm going to break that down more in the workshop, so that way you can kind of understand and see it on the screen. Like I said, in the private workshop, we're on Zoom. We are on our boards. We'll have PowerPoint presentations. You'll be able to see things visually. It's different. So when you do that, or when you get into class, I'll be able to explain that more. But the whole premise of me saying all of this is it's a system, y'all. And a lot of times mentally, you're rigged to think and believe one way. And I'm going to just share this with you. And I share this with a lot of my clients, especially my female clients. A lot of times we think like, oh, I want a house, I want a house, I want a house, I want a house. Now, if you are a single female, single or male, let me now just to ladies. This could go for men too. If you are a single individual, male or female, and you don't really have kids, or you don't have kids, or like I don't have kids, I didn't need to buy a single family house. Knowing what I know now, I should have bought a building. My first property should have been an investment property. And this is what you're, again, not really taught is a lot of us want to go and get a house. You want to go get the car. But again, that's still another bill. Your mortgage payment, your rent payment is the largest bill for most people who live in America. That's your largest bill, right? If you got to get paid every 2 weeks, your rent or your mortgage is probably your largest expense, right? Then next will probably be your car note, your car insurance, and then, of course, your upkeep, your maintenance, your clothing, your food, groceries. You got to pay light and gas in a lot of these places, right? So all of that is what? Bills. All of those are another expense for you. And so what you're not doing is we're not thinking like that. And then this is why so many Americans are in debt. This is why so many Americans are drowning in debt. This is why so many are under pressure. This is why so many are in survival mode. And everybody that's on YouTube, I'm excited for you to be here. Can you hit that like button and go ahead and follow the page as well? All right. Hit the like button, even if you don't understand everything that I'm saying right now, because I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I might be rambling a little bit. I feel my eyes heavy. That's why I told y'all I'm not going to be on here long tonight. Literally, I got 15 minutes on here. We getting off at 10:30 because it's been a long freaking week. Okay. And I still got to wake up early in the morning and do taxes because it's coming towards deadline. All right. But I wanted to reiterate that to you all, that remember, this is a system that we live in. So you have to learn the system. When I learned taxes, when I learned business, when I learned credit, it changed my entire life. It changed my entire life. And it changed my entire life because I was able to look at the systems that were put into place. And then I started reading the tax law, and I'm like, hold on now. This almost feel a little illegal. That's how you start feeling when you start reading the tax law. You like, hold on now. This almost feel a little bit illegal, but it's not. It's not. It's completely legal. It's completely legal. And so then I switched my mindset from being a consumer, and I switched my mindset to thinking like a business owner, thinking like how the people that uses the tax code thinks, right? And then once I actually started I had already started my business, but I was doing taxes, but I was doing personal taxes for a long time. Once I started my business and then I started learning business taxes, that's when I really went down the rabbit hole, and it showed me a whole other way, right? And so that's what I'm trying to share with you all today. Is a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to start a business, and that's fine. So last night, some of the things that we were talking about was whatever you do on your day-to-day job, what is it that you do on your day-to-day job that you could possibly do to make money on the side? That's what we were talking about last night, right? And we had a bunch of people on YouTube that kind of shared, some different things like, are you, I think people was in property management, graphic designer, a company truck driver. We had a lot of different examples, right, of people throwing out there what they do in their everyday life that they could actually do like as a side hustle. I'm gonna say that because you can always start off as a side hustle, right? So I tell some people, start off as a side hustle. See if this is something that you really want to do. Because sometimes it doesn't make sense to put all the paper together, get this beautiful logo, do all of this stuff if you're not really going to keep up with the business, right? Now, depending on the business, some of you do need to be on paper right away, especially if it's a business where, like if you're in food services or something like that, right? You want to at least maybe get your sanitation license or certificate. So this way you could be cooking and making cookies and food in your house if you're working out your home, if you don't have a formal restaurant. A lot of people do start start in the kitchen, especially with homemade kind of mom and pop shops, right? Selling baked goods, things like that. Well, you have to get a sanitation license, and a lot of people don't do it. Y'all just be on it. Y'all just be out here selling plates. I want you to know, protect yourself, because if somebody gets sick and they report you and you don't have that sanitation license, you can get in trouble. All right. So one of the things and easiest things to do, it takes one day. I'm in the city of Chicago. They do have an actual like an hour day class, and they charge you a small fee. And then after that, you get your sanitation license, right? So I think you asked it, Miss Rosie, right as I was saying it, and then it shows in that you said, where would someone get that? Now remember, every single state is different, y'all. Remember, I'm in Chicago. So if you're not in Chicago, you're gonna have to look at whatever city and state you're in and look at your cities. Normally your city license. It's normally a local license that you can get it from. But it might be in the county, but normally it's through your city. So wherever city you're at, you want to go to your city government website, and then you want to go on there and see what it is. If you don't see it, you can always call. It's always a phone number on your city website. You can always call and let them know, hey, I'm looking to figure out how do I get my sanitation license if you're looking to cook or make meals or bake out of your home, right? But any of you all that are doing that, you want to at least have that sanitation license at minimum. Okay. But let's say you wanted to start a, selling baskets. Let's say you like making baskets and you wanted to sell baskets. Well, you don't necessarily have to go and set up a whole LLC to do that, right? Because if you wanted to sell baskets, you can go to the dollar store and you can buy the basket, buy the plastic, buy the items that you're putting in the basket, and then you're going home, wrapping it up, putting a bow on it, and then you're going on social media and you're saying, hey, I'm selling baskets for the holiday, right? I know a young lady that every year she sells these wreaths. I know a young lady that um, designs trees, Christmas trees for families, right? So she creates this whole flyer and extravagant Christmas tree for people, right? So it's all on your skill set. It's so that's what I'm asking you all. Like, what are you doing in your day-to-day job that you could possibly do as a side hustle? If you like to cook, if you're a chef at a restaurant, maybe you like to cook. Maybe you should be selling your own plates on the side on the weekend, right? Someone mentioned that they're a graphic designer. Maybe you know how to draw and do art. So maybe you should be creating flyers and, making logos for people, right? So I want you all to think that when you are living in the United States of America, it's a system. And so, in order for you to beat the system, you have to learn how the system works. And the US government, all right, runs off of business. Business tax law sees most of the benefits. Business tax deduction sees most of the benefits. If you are a W-2 wage earner in the United States of America, you pay some of the highest taxes. If you are self-employed and you file on the Schedule C form that we were talking about, you pay 36% in taxes. So self-employed and W-2 wage earners, the two of you combined, you pay the most in taxes. Now, those of us that are in business and we're set up as a corporation or an S corp, we have a different tax structure. Okay. So this is why when I say, when you all sometimes get on the internet and you say, well, business is this, and this is how I know you're listening to these like fake influencers, because they'll wrap everything up in one. And what I've always said on this internet is business is not a one size fits all. Every single business is different. It's depending on your industry, right? I'm in tax and business strategist. Someone else could be a truck driver. Somebody else may own a bakery. You see that? All three of those are three different industries: tax and business, a bakery, and a truck driver. We're not going to have the same business expenses. We're not going to be set up the same, because I'm a tax and business strategist. Somebody who's a bakery, remember, you need that sanitation license. You want to cover yourself. You want to protect yourself. You don't want nobody to try to sue you if they get sick from eating your food, right? So food services is way different than my type of industry, being in financial services, right? the trucking industry, driving a truck on the road where you can have an accident and harm other people, that's a totally different industry. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense with what I'm saying? If you with me, say yes. Let me know that makes sense. That makes sense. Y'all know I like you to be interactive. It's already late on later in the evening. Okay. First question that I see is, what do you think about a homeowner? I think everyone should be a homeowner. But outside of being a homeowner, I think people should own property, multi-units. And that's what I was talking about. I don't think that you should, even if you're not single. I just was using a single person as an example because a lot of people who are married or have kids tend to want their own home, right? Because you want to have your own place, right? You don't want to, that's how you're thinking. You're thinking like, oh, I want my own house, right? But again, we have to think of things from a systematic level. Your house is a bill. That mortgage payment is another bill. It does not, your home, your personal dwelling is not an asset for you until you actually sell it. Now, if you plan on being in your home for 30 years, living there forever, then this could be another way that you buy the house and that pays for the house. And this is what I was talking about. In the American system, they don't teach you this. They teach you to go to school, get an education, go work for somebody else, get a job, right? And then they teach you to go buy a car and buy a house. They don't talk about buying an investment property. They don't talk about buying a multi-unit building. They don't talk about those type of things. You get what I'm saying? So in order for you to really make it and survive, most people are living in survival mode. A lot of my clients, unfortunately, are in survival mode right now. They're struggling to pay their mortgage or their rent. They're struggling to keep up with their car note and their car insurance and feed their kids and pay for daycare and pay for groceries, right? Because everything is rising. Inflation is real. And as people, we don't think about that inflation happens every single year, costs increase, but your job on average does not pay you more money every year. How many of you are getting a raise every single year on your job? Right? Probably not many of you. And then if you do get a raise, it is disrespectful that they will tell you that we're going to increase you by 25 cents, by 20 cents. Oh, we're going to give you an additional quarter. Like that's disrespectful. We are not children playing in a damn playground. Like I got real bills to pay, right? Your rent just probably went from $1,000 to $1,200, and your job telling you, oh, we're going to give you a quarter increase, a 20-cent increase, a 10-cent increase, right? Americans have allowed corporate America and society to really play in your face. Y'all know me. I'm the realist. That's the reason why I have that trademark, the realist tax and business strategist, because I'm not here to lie and play games. I'm being honest, and that really is a smack in your face. And see, for somebody like me who's a critical thinker, when they was telling me that crap in corporate America, I'm like, who are y'all talking to? Like, what do you mean you giving me a quarter raise? you you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like giving you a penny, especially when you was bringing in money. Like for me, working in the banking industry, in the beginning, it was based off commission, right? If I open up if I get a client to open up $100,000 CD, the bank was paying us at that time. When I first got to the bank, they was giving us like $100 commission on the back of that. Then they cut the commission down to $50. Then they cut the commission down to $25. And then they cut the commission down to $10. So I said, you want me to get somebody grandma to commit to putting her $100,000 CD on here for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, and you want to take me down from $100 to paying me $10, and you think I'm supposed to be on here telling somebody grandma to put their money in this bank account? Y'all got me all the way messed up. So as they started cutting our commission, I start cutting my sales. I start telling my clients to go elsewhere. I had a client that worked and he had his own financial services company, and I started referring my clients to him. Because how dare you pay me $100 on $100,000 that you all are getting? Because what y'all don't understand is when you put that money in the bank, they are flipping your money 8,000 different ways. Okay, let's be clear. Now you need your money in the bank for protection, and then for business owners, you want to show that you're making income. So we make deposits and put our money in the bank. But you can also be flipping your money as well, investing your money as well, the same way that the bank is doing, right? So it just was disrespectful to me for them to cut us from $100 per CD. But like I said, the higher it used to be like by a dollar amount. If you open up a 20,000 CD, you got this amount. If you opened up a 50,000 CD, you got this amount. But long to the short, in less than a year, they had cut us from say $100 commission down to $10. And I was like, yeah, I'm not letting somebody grandma put her $100,000 in this bank for 5 years, locked in the CD at 0.90%. Right. So that just wasn't working for me. I wasn't okay with that. But this is the culture of corporate America. Those of you all that are still in there, it's so disrespectful, Miss Rosie, isn't it? Those of you all who are still in there, this is why I talk to you like this, right? So that way you could be aware and also know your worth and your value, because that's what they expect. They expect that most Americans don't know their worth. Most Americans don't know their value. So this is why corporate America plays in your face the way that they do. And this is why I had to get out of that, because my mother told me from a very early age that I would not last in corporate America because I have a mouth on me. And when you have a mouth, they don't like you to have a mouth, and they don't like you to have an opinion, because they like when everybody thinks as a group. They like when everybody is quiet and doesn't say anything. But then you get someone like me who comes in a room and I start asking questions. And I'm like, well, why is this way? And why are we doing this that way? And why is this? And why is that? And then your manager gets to looking like, she asking too much. So then they start putting people like me out. Then it's, oh, we want to talk to you and come into the room, right? And this is why so many people are quiet in corporate America, because they see that and they're like, oh, I don't want to lose my job. But see, me, I have been single with no kids my whole life. I'm 44. So I don't have that in the back of my mind, because some of my clients have shared that, well, I want to speak and I want to do this, but I got kids to feed. Okay. So when everyone thinks like that, this is how corporate treats you, because no one speaks up. But if all of you all riled up and got together, they can't let all of you go, right? But this is that revolution that needs to happen across America, period, for corporate America to change and do something different than what they're doing. So until that happens, I'm just going to get on this internet and show y'all and talk to y'all about some ways and things that you can do while you're working for corporate America still. And then if you want to switch your life up and do something different and become free, like myself, I'm free. I'm not stuck to the corporate slave trade. After I got let go in March of 2013, I had already started my business part-time in 2008, right? I shared that with y'all. And so by the time I got let go in 2013, my company and business was already up and running. I already had clients. I already had motion. I already had income coming in. So I was able to step out on faith and go and work my business full time. And I've been completely self-employed these last 12 years, which has given me freedom, which has given me the three things that I love and enjoy the most, which is time freedom, location freedom, because I can do taxes anywhere. As long as I have my laptop and my software, I'm gonna be in Dallas next weekend. I'm gonna be in Dallas filing taxes in my hotel room at some point, right? I can go to Jamaica and be on the beach in Jamaica and file taxes and meet with clients on Zoom. So I'm in an industry where I can be anywhere. I don't have to be locked into my office, right? So that's very important for me. Time freedom, location freedom, and then the last one is financial freedom. Once I became an entrepreneur, I learned that there's no limit to my income. When I worked for the bank and they cut my commission, that changed my income. I went from making $55,000 to $60,000 at the commission to now with them cutting our commission from whatever whatever different products we were selling. They basically went from $100 to $10. That's a huge difference. That's a $90 cut on average. So if I'm doing 10 CDs a month, that used to be $1,000. Now that's $50. You get what I'm saying? So I went from making $1,000 in commission to now making $50 in commission. That's a huge cut. So that pissed me off. I was like, oh no. Oh no. Hell no. So I quit selling. I quit working. I quit producing. Y'all just gonna pay me a base salary of $40,000, then fine. Right? That's what it is. So I was making a base salary of $40,000 back in 2013. And when I got let go in March of 2013, I decided to go all in with my business. So from around probably June, I took a month or two. I went back to my old employer for a month, and then I took a month off. So about around June, I really got on the pavement. I really got outside and was shaking babies' hands, because this was back in 2013. Social media wasn't like this. So I had to go hit the ground. I had to go outside. I had to go stand in front of liquor stores and pass my cars out. I had to go stand in front of libraries. I had to go actually on the street and connect with people. It wasn't like this, how I could just get on live now and talk to y'all and connect with you, right? It wasn't like that back then when I started, when I was an entrepreneur, when I first became an entrepreneur. So those of us who've been in entrepreneurship over 10, 12, 15 years, it was a big different world for us. So anybody that's made it and they still an entrepreneur, congratulate them. Because this is so much easier today. This is easy to me to be an entrepreneur today versus what I had to do in the beginning of my career, in the beginning of all of this, especially even going back all the way to 08. Right? I'm just starting at 2013 when I was able to 100% be in my business. But in 08, when I was working part-time in my business and going to corporate, it was completely different. Completely different. Right? So for me, I said that to say, because at the end of the year, at the end of December 2013, I printed out my bank statements and I wanted to see where I was at. Because I'm always hard on myself. We always harder on ourselves than how everybody else sees us. And I was like, Patrice, check your bank statements to see what you actually made. And so December 2013, I had made $98,733. I almost 3 times my income that I was making in 6 months. Working for myself, betting on myself, pouring all that energy that I was giving to corporate America into my own business, into my own name, into my own brand. And I haven't looked back since. Here I go 12 years later, it's 2025, and here I am. Now, was it some ups and downs? Heck yeah. Was it easy? Heck no. Would I do it again? Heck yeah. Because I believe in, if I'm going to work for myself, if I'm going to work and bust my behind, I'm going to do it for myself. I'm not going to do it for a bank that's owned by a huge corporation. You get what I'm saying? If something happens to me, I have a company that will be out here in the world forever that has changed people's lives. People will tell their grandkids and their kids that I work with Miss Patrice. Miss Patrice got my business together for me. Miss Patrice fixed my credit. Miss Patrice helped me fix my credit. Miss Patrice did. You get what I'm saying? That's what I wanted. I wanted to leave a legacy. I wanted to be able to leave something behind. I couldn't do that at the bank. I'm not leaving a legacy at the bank, working for the bank under the bank name. They just know me as Patrice, the banker. Now they know me as Patrice L. Stewart, the tax and business strategist from Tax Credit. You get what I'm saying? It's a difference when you own it, when it's yours. And people in Chicago, again, with these limited mindsets, in the beginning, when I first started my business, people was like, well, why you just didn't open up a Jackson Hewitt? Or why you just didn't do an H&R Block? Because those were recognizable names. But again, Jackson Hewitt is not my branding company. That's Jackson Hewitt branding company. So yeah, you have some owners that are a franchise of Jackson Hewitt, but Jackson Hewitt will never be their legacy. You get what I'm saying? That's Jackson Hewitt is their company. So your kid can be like, oh yeah, my mama owned a Jackson Hewitt. Your mama owned a Jackson Hewitt. That's Jackson Hewitt name. They can't say, oh, well, my mama owned PL Stewart and Associates. Oh, well, who is that? Oh, that's my mama name. That's my family name. Now, I didn't have no kids. I kind of knew I wasn't, right? But for me, that's more important for me to have my own name and legacy. That was important to me. Now, to somebody else, that may not be important, which is why people buy into franchises, because franchises are recognizable names. So if you open up a Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block, yeah, you're probably going to get people coming in the door right away because they're recognizable names. But guess what? They're not your name. So that was important to me. For somebody else, they just may want the money and don't care about it being their name on the door. You get what I mean? So that's why I said business is different for every single one of us, because business is going to be what you want from it. Some people don't care about it not being their name. I know people who own Jackson Hewitts and H&R Blocks, right? And they're okay with that. So that's why I said for you all, when I talk about business, sometimes people think like, oh, I got to have this brick and mortar store and location. And you don't. Business is literally a skill set. It's what can I offer for it's a product or service that you're offering to, you're offering a product or service. I've been talking all day, literally. I've been in class for 3 hours, 6 to 9. And then I got on here. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't think about business as, oh, I got to have this brick and mortar store. Whatever you're doing in your day-to-day job, is that something that you can do and charge people to do on the side to make an additional source of income? And then when you're making that additional source of income, it should not be going to things. Yes, enjoy yourself. Go take a trip, buy you a bag or some shoes or Jordans, whatever it is y'all do, right? But every dollar you get should not be going to things. And this is another reason why Americans are in so much debt and struggling and living check to check, because the average American does not have $1,000 in their savings account. Let's be clear. The average American, no matter what color you are, now there are different levels to it as far as race and color it is. So let's just be clear. Okay. But for sake's time tonight, the average American does not have $1,000 in the bank. If something happened and your car broke down or something happened in your house and it cost you $1,000 to $2,000, do you have the money to fix it today? Ask yourself that. If something happened and it cost you $1,000 to $2,000, do you have the money today to fix it? If you don't, then you really need to be listening to what I'm saying. And you need to come get in this trust class, which we're hosting on Monday. Okay? Trust and tax planning is what we're talking about. And it's not necessarily trust and tax planning. We're talking about the entire ecosystem in the United States of America, which involves your credit, which involves you having a business, which involves you having a life insurance policy, which then involves you having real estate and then protecting that and putting it in asset protection. It's a whole ecosystem. So we're going to go over that with myself and my business partner, who is a wealth advisor and who has showed me and educated me these last 3 years on how to do asset protection, who's helped me restructure my business and make sure that when people look me up, you won't be able to see and find what businesses I have and own. And if you do, it's because I'm allowing it to still be that way for right now. Okay. But after the end of this month, you won't see nothing online with me. All right. because that's what you do. You control everything, but you don't own it, right? If y'all have ever heard that term before, you control, right? You manage it, but you don't own it. And when we say you don't own it, it's a reason why we're saying you don't own it. We're going to show you that in this trust class. So if you want to go ahead, it's free. Instagram, you can't see the I'm gonna type it in the comments for you, the website that you can go to. All we're asking for is your name and your email. We're not trying to text you and all that other stuff. We're giving you this information so you can understand. And then, of course, if you want to work with us after you do the class, then that's cool. But we're giving you this information. We're giving you free game on this Monday, which will be the 13th. And it'll be from 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time if you're on Eastern Time. So the link is in the comments at the top, Javay. I don't know if you see it, but I'm getting ready to put it on here right now. Club/trust. Oh, I didn't type it right, Javay. Hold on, my bad. Let me answer this question. PL Stewart. I can't wait till I get my little studio together, because I'm tired of putting this little makeshift studio in the corner together for y'all. I don't have no light over here. I had to find a lamp. plstewart.club/trust. Or you can text me trust to 872-253-9272. Okay. And then I'll put it on here for you for YouTube. PL Stewart. Okay. Again, it's going to be Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time or 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. Praise God. She said, I'll listen again another time. Got to go. I understand, girl. It's late. We're getting out of here too. Don't worry. I have to get off, but I just found your page today. I hope to see you live again. Thank you. Okay. So we'll answer a couple of questions and then I'm getting off of here. Mr. Leisure, what's going on? I think somebody had a question before you. Chad says, what kind of business? Oh, wait a minute. So Papa, I don't know if you're still on here. You had asked me first, what do I think about home ownership? And I kind of started going into it, but I didn't kind of finish it. But basically, I think everyone should start with at least buying land. And then I think that you should start with your investment property first, which you can still be a homeowner. And if you didn't know this, when you get a pre-approval for a home, like when you work with a lender and let's say they approve you for $300,000, your real estate agent or broker should be a good person. And they should explain to you, okay, because I feel like this should be explained a little bit. That you can actually have with that one pre-approval. If you got approved for $300,000, most people go buy a single family house. And knowing what I know now, I tell a lot of my clients, you don't need to go buy a single family house if you don't necessarily need a house. Or if it's just you, like me, I was single. It was me and my mom and my dog. I could have bought I think 4 units. You can buy up to 4 units when you are a first-time home buyer. So when you're a first-time home buyer, but most people don't tell you that. Most people let you say, oh, I just want to go get a house. And then your real estate agent just go and start looking up houses for you. But anybody that's on here that's a real estate agent, I want you all to start empowering your clients more and telling them that. Because I think if they knew what their options were, that some of them may do things differently. I don't think I had that real conversation with my aunt, who was my realtor back then when I first bought my house in 2009. But knowing what I know now, I tell every single person that $300,000 that you get, you could actually go and buy a building with that. And this is one of the things that I always hear people say, well, I don't want to deal with tenants, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. And let me just have you open up your mind right now and think about something. That single family house is a bill. That is a bill. Your home, your dwelling is a bill. It will not be an asset until you sell it. So if you plan on living in that house for the next 30 years with your family, then this is a better way to pay for the house that you really want. Same way with your vehicle. They tell you to go and get a car note and buy a car. It actually is smart to save up a little bit of money, maybe your tax refund, save up a little bit of money and go to the auction and buy your car at the auction and pay for your car in cash. And that way it's done. Take you a little $2,500, go get you a little Malibu, a little Impala, ride that sucker, okay? And then what you do is when you get that home and you're ready to go get that house and get your pre-approval, you only got to be working on your job 1 to 2 years. Some lenders now only want 1 year W-2. Most lenders ask for 2 years of W-2s. If you got a W-2, if you're self-employed, then sometimes they want to see 2 years of income plus bank statements plus tax returns. When you're self-employed, it's a little more, right? But for those of you that had this W-2 job, this is the benefit of having that W-2 job, because that income they pay attention to. That income gets reported annually to the IRS. So lenders will work with you because they know you got this W-2 job. So you want to take advantage, right? This is a system advantage for those of you that have a W-2 job. So why go buy a single family house? What you could be doing, and I'm not going to say what you should be doing, but let me give you some other options of how to think. Instead of paying $2,000 a month for one single family house at $300,000, you maybe could find a 3-unit building for that same $300,000. Now, for those of you that keep saying, I don't want to deal with tenants and I don't want to do that, you're going to live in that house you're going to live in that apartment building for 1 year. So the mortgage and the rent payment that you would have normally paid for that building or that house by yourself, right? Now you have 2 other units that you can charge market rent. In Chicago, people paying like $2,000 a month for rent, $1,800 for a 2-bedroom. Some people paying $1,800, $1,500 for a 1-bedroom, right? So wherever you are in the world, whatever your market rent is, think about that. So your mortgage payment may be, I don't know, what's a mortgage payment on $300,000? Mortgage payment calculator. We're going to calculate it real quick. Calculator. Okay. On average, what's your mortgage payment? Your mortgage payment on a $300,000 house, home value, down payment. We ain't putting too much down. Let's say you paying 10% down. And it's a whole lot of down payment assistance programs right now too, y'all. Like a lot. And let's say your interest rate, I don't know what interest rates are, but let's just say it's 7%. Just for the sake of freaking time. I'm just trying to get what an average mortgage payment may be today. Compare loan calculator. 30-year term, property taxes, home insurance, conventional. Okay, wherever I'm at, they want me to enter in more information, and I'm not doing all that. Y'all not about to get all that. So let me go out of here. For the second time, we're just going to say your mortgage is $2,000 a month, okay? So instead of you paying $2,000 a month for that single family house that you and your family going to live in, now you're paying $2,000 a month on a 3-unit building. So you paying the $2,000 a month mortgage. That's your unit that you paying for. Now, the other 2 units that's maybe bringing in $2,000 each month, that's $4,000 in income now coming in. If you're going to live in one unit and you renting out the other 2, right? Remember that. You living in one unit and you renting out the other 2. So you renting out the other 2 at the $2,000 a month. So that's $4,000 a month you got coming in, right? So now that's income. With that one single family home, you would have a $2,000 a month mortgage payment that you got to pay every month. But with that multi-unit, you have $4,000 coming in. And then after 1 year, you can move out. And now you can rent that third unit out, and now that's $6,000 a month coming in. Now, once you get to the $6,000 a month, you still got to pay that mortgage payment, right? And you're gonna have other expenses. You may be paying the water on the property. You might be even covering, most apartments today make y'all pay y'all own light and gas, right? Back in the day, they used to pay for your gas. Most apartments used to pay for your gas. Some apartments today will still give you gas, but a lot today, you're paying your own light and gas, right? So that's not really coming off of you, the owner, because most of the time, that's how it is today. People are used to that. But most are still supplying the water, right? So let's add on your taxes, and your taxes should kind of be already enrolled in your mortgage. So maybe you got the taxes. I mean, not taxes. Maybe you have the water bill. So let's just say maybe it costs you $2,500 for that building. So if you're bringing in $6,000 a month and it costs you $2,500, what's the profit? Somebody type it in YouTube. I know y'all gonna type it in. You're bringing in $6,000 a month. Your mortgage payment plus water is $2,500. What are you clearing every month? What are you clearing every month? Because now this is going to determine how you move and how your lifestyle is going to change, right? $3,500. Thank you, Chris. So now that's $3,500 profit every month coming in. So what's 3,500 times 12? No, he right. It's 3,500 because if you add the 500, that's 4,000, and then 2,000, that's 6,000. Remember, the mortgage payment is 2,000, but I want you to understand with a building is going to be other expenses outside of just the mortgage payment. So realistically, I added an additional 500. Now your water bill probably not going to be 500 a month. But again, just for the sake of being realistic, when you have property, when you have businesses, things come up, right? So you want to give yourself a little wiggle room. So for now, for this example, we're going to say the building going to cost you about $2,500 a month. Okay. Chris, you still on here? What's 3,500 times 12? It's 42,000. Okay. I'm sorry. Inez, I'm going to just call you She's. She's say 42,000. Now, how many of you have a single family home and you're making $42,000 a month off that property? The example speaks for itself, but this is not what they teach you in America. So now if you got one 3-unit building, that's $42,000 a year that you have coming in as income, as additional income. This is why the top 1 to 10% have real estate. Majority of them have 80% of their money tied up in real estate because one, that property is going to increase in value because whatever you get it, if you buy it today for $300,000 and you hold that building for 5 years, that building is going to be worth more than $300,000. So when people get on this internet and say, well, those of you all who got a mortgage, you really don't own it for 30 years. And I don't got to own it for 30 years. The whole point of having the property is it's going to appreciate. That's the difference. But you went and bought that G-Wagon and paid $100,000. And the moment you rolled off the lot, that G-Wagon then dropped down to 80 bands. So if you try to go sell it in 2 or 3 months, you upside down. That's the difference between an appreciating asset and a depreciating asset. A car could still be an asset, but you're never going to get what you paid for it. You're never going to get what you paid for it. So that's why I don't even buy brand new cars no more. I will go and get me a certified used vehicle. And before I decided to buy certified used vehicles, I was at the auction, buying cars at the auction and riding them suckers till the wheels fall off. Like, Chris, because you smart. I'm just saying, this is how the average American thinks, right? People like you, because I love that you said that G-Wagon down 80K. That's so true, but not you. You're not doing that, right? But this is the average American, how they think. Because that's how the world is set up, to put bells and whistles in your face, right? Oh, this person got this person got that, Gucci and gold labels and all that stuff. But real wealth, and that's what I learned with working with clients who have real wealth, who have multiple units, clients who have 100 units, 200 units, 130 units, 50 units. I'm like, baby, I'm trying to be like them. Once I got into this real estate, once I got into hanging around people, once I got on with this board, it showed me a different whole other angle in life with real estate alone. This is not taught in the American system. And this is the reason why it's not taught in the American system, because it's a system to keep you down. It's meant to keep you in debt. It's meant to keep you in survival mode. It's meant to keep you constantly fighting and trying to pay this and pay that. But that now, if you got a building that's bringing in $3,500 a month, that pays for the house that you want, that pays for the car that you want to drive. Now, Chris, right now, if you want to go ball out, you can do that, because now you got income coming in from this building, which is called passive income. So guess what you gonna do? If I had $3,500 coming in from a building and making $42,000 a year from a building, I'm going to buy me some more buildings. So now you may have another building with the same thing, 3 units or more, on average coming in with $2,000 a month, $2,000 each apartment. That's 6 bands a month. So remember, the first building, you weren't making as much because you was living in the apartment for the first year. But once you get out of it and you're able to rent out all 3 units, you started making 6 bands a month. So now you done bought another building. So now you're making 6 bands on that building. And you may have a mortgage on that too. So let's say again, it may be $2,500, because you got to always factor in those expenses. But where were we at, Chris? $3,500 was your net profit after you pay your mortgage, after you pay the water bill. We just said it was $2,500 in expenses. So now that's another building that you getting $3,500 on every month. And this is after you pay your mortgage, after you pay your expenses. That's what you're profiting. So now that's $7,000 from 2 buildings every month. Some of y'all could leave your job with that. Some of y'all could leave your job if you was making $7,000 a month passively. Now, I have some clients that still work and keep their job, especially if they got good pension, especially if they got good pension in 401k. They like, I'm fine with working, but they're not stressed out. They're not living in survival mode. If something happens, they can have money in their savings account. They can invest. They can have stocks. They can have crypto. You get what I'm saying? Now you're able to do more. Now you're able to live, and you're not mean and angry all the time because you stressed out trying to pay this one single family mortgage that was $2,000. And then you still got to pay for your kids. You got to pay for this. You got to pay for that. You get what I'm saying? So we're not taught that. We're taught to go and get all of these bills and get in debt, but we're not taught to buy the asset first. We're not taught to buy the investment property first. The investment property will pay for the house that you want. The investment property will pay for the car that you want to drive. And that's what happened to me. Once I learned all of that, once I learned business and I learned taxes, I was like, okay. So now my business pays for everything. I can live how I want to live, or travel where I want to live, and be where I want to be, and have time control and location control and financial freedom, because I started a business. Then I bought a property. Now I'm working on buying me a building. right? I have 2 properties, but I bought 2 single family homes. Now I understand the value of buying a 3 unit, buying a 6 unit, buying a multi unit. You get what I'm saying? Because I have people and clients that have it. I'm looking at the income that they're making. I'm doing the taxes for the buildings. You get what I'm saying? And they live a different lifestyle. They're not in survival mode. That's the best way that I could say it. They're not in survival mode. And so I want that for more of you. I want more of you to be able to not be in survival mode. A lot of us are in survival mode, and you were in survival mode because of the system. Okay, you guys, it's the system. We live in America. It's a system, and this is what the average American goes through, no matter what color you are. Right? Statistics show it. Financial data shows it. The average American does not have $1,000 in their savings account, and the average American does not make 6 figures. Less than 12% of the country makes 6 figures. 6 figures is not even a lot of money living in America. Right? Because I just showed you 100,000, y'all are taxed to death. Somebody making 100,000 in America, you on average pay about 25% in taxes. So for federal taxes, you paying $25,000 out of that 100,000 salary. You're not even bringing home 100,000. You may be bringing home 70,000. But somebody on the internet will say, "Oh, 6 figures is this," but 6 figures is getting taxed a lot. So they're not even bringing home 6 figures. This is why I'm like, I'm a numbers person. We're going to break these numbers down so y'all can analyze and understand that. All right. So get in the workshop. On Monday, I am hosting a trust and tax workshop with my business partner. We're going to show you the whole ecosystem. All right. For those of you all on Instagram, I'm going to put this phone number in here. Text me trust, and I will send you the link. Okay. You text me trust, and it's completely free. We're not charging you for this workshop. We're going to show you the entire ecosystem and how the wealthy live, how the wealthy are living, how the wealthy use trusts and estates, how they buy real estate, how they put it in trust, how they package it, how they protect their assets. And the minimum that you have to have is a life insurance policy. If you all don't have property right now, okay, cool. That should be the goal, though. If you're gonna be in our group, you're gonna be in our world, in our community. This is what we're teaching our community. We're not in there talking about race and creed and all that stuff. All of us are Americans. You have to learn the American system. If you live in America, if you live in the United States of America, I'm talking to you. There is no color in the tax code. There is no color in trust planning, in estate planning. There is no color in those things. Now, yes, some of us have been redlined in our neighborhood. Some of us have not been given mortgage loans and stuff like that. This is why we have built a network of people. We have people that you can go to, that you can talk to in different states, with you, whether you need insurance, whether you need a mortgage, whether you need certain things done. This is the point of building community. This is why I focus on building my community outside of social media, because social media will have a lot of you all just enraged and not looking at the bigger picture, which is the system. Okay. So I'm getting ready to get off of here because I've been on here an hour and a half. I am going to finish up on YouTube. So I'm going to get off on Instagram. I hope you all got that information, so that way you can text me. You could go ahead and take a screenshot right now while it's up on the screen. You can send me a text message, and I will go ahead and send you all the link tonight as soon as I get off. Chris says, yes, I agree. I hear you. We need more of this. We need to make it out of the norm and ignorance. Yes, Chris, I like info like this because I'm into politics too, and I just found you from the gang building. I figured that, Chris. But you all will learn that, and I'm not a politician. So many people have been asking that. I'm not a politician, y'all. I'm just a young lady who grew up on the south side of Chicago, grew up on the southeast side, born and raised over in South Shore, and I love my community. I love my community. I love my people, but I also am in financial services. I have been in taxes, accounting, banking industry for the last 22 years. And so I am a tax and business strategist. I have helped people save millions of dollars every single year. I have clients who have millions of dollars, right? And so that's what I'm saying is I understand some of you all are into the politics. I'm not. I'm an independent. I'm not into red or blue. I used to be a Democrat for a very long time. And I realized that Democratic Party is not it. A lot of people have switched over to the red side. Hey, more power to them. But I am personally an independent. I don't believe in our political system. I don't believe in it because it's not the truth. Both lie. Both do what they want to do, right? And so as people, as Americans, we have to understand the system. And the system is learning taxes, credit, and business. Business law, business is where it's at. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about over here on this page and this channel. I may still share some stuff that's what's going on in Chicago, but this is my real voice and platform. This is how I've been using my voice and platform the last 12 years on this internet, is teaching financial literacy. Okay. So I'm out. Thank you so much, Chris, for joining. And any of you all on Instagram, I would highly recommend you follow me on YouTube. YouTube and TikTok are my main platforms. I do go on Facebook as well, but I'm kind of more getting on Instagram. I'm really not on Instagram much. Do I provide consultation for debt relief? Not necessarily, but I do have something that you can, we could talk about. And then if I can't help you, then I do have people that I can kind of refer you to if you need it. Because sometimes y'all say debt relief and y'all don't really need debt relief how you think you need it. Right, Chris? So I do have a pick my brain session. So that's what it's called on my booking site. And it should be on my website if you go on my page, but I'll put it on here on here for you, Chris. My booking link as well. So on my booking site, I do have a pick my brain session. So I think it's a 30-minute session and it's like $60, like 60 or $70. And then that way you can ask me whatever questions you need, and then I can give you the best advice that I can give you. All right. Thank you again for joining, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to wrap up on YouTube, and I'm Patrice L. Stewart on all my platforms. All right. And be aware, because there are fake pages of me. So just be aware of the channel that you're following. All right. Have a good night on Instagram. I'm going to finish up on YouTube. And I think I only saw like one question. I only saw one comment, I think, from Moni. Because I know Javay got the info that she needed, which was the link. And then Moni came on. Amen, because that's what a lot of people are angry and mean, truly and honestly. It's not a bad thing. It's just a time to shift. Come on, Moni. That's really what it is. That's why most people are angry and mean. They live in a survival mode. So that's why I'm like, get off the internet arguing with each other when everybody got stuff going on at home, right? People trying to make it and survive. But everybody looking for somebody to blame. And 11:11, come on here, God. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you. Always giving me confirmation of what I'm doing. Ashe. Yes. So yes, Moni, that's right. I really didn't even realize you can do that, because that's how I feel. Good night. Well, let's roll, Moni. Hopefully you'll be in the class. See you in the trust class, girl. All right. So YouTube, I'm finishing up with you. I'm done on the other two platforms. And I know I owe y'all your questions. So let me scroll back to the top. Yee said, I got 4 years of business taxes. I never filed my 1099. And I got an S corp. Yees, I'm gonna need you to get it together, man, and come holler at me before them people be on your behind. Now, the beautiful thing is with businesses and corporations, it do take them a lot longer to say something to you about taxes. Now, personal taxes, they be on people behind. But I'm gonna type my booking link down here for you, Yees, just in case you want to book a little pick my brain session with me. Or a tax inquiry call. I do have a tax inquiry call. I'm gonna put this on here so that way I finish wrapping up with y'all questions, and then if you want to do that. So see, stuff like that. It was a bunch of people on there saying that they didn't know that. They didn't even know that. And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why we not having these conversations. Like, why y'all professionals are not telling you. That's why I told my real estate friends, like, y'all need to tell these people. Don't let these people just come and tell you they want to buy a house. Like, ask them why. Why you want a house? I mean, not why you want a house. We know why people want a house. But if you tell people that, some people will consider that. You know, the same amount of money that you pay for a single family home, you can possibly find a multi-unit building for that same price or a little more. And now somebody else is paying your mortgage. You get what I'm saying? It's totally different mindset. And then that's where you go do the other stuff that you want to do. You let the building and the property pay for that. You let the building and property pay for the house that you really want. You let the building and property pay for the car that you really want, right? But it's okay to sacrifice in the beginning and buy you a car at the auction, paid for. I drove an Impala, 2 of them, for almost 10 years before I bought my luxury vehicle last year. Now I'm ready to let this damn luxury vehicle go, and because that money could be going to something else that I want to do. Like, I'm ready to go back to a hoopty. Like, but I was like, you know what, Patrice, this is your birthday gift. You can ride nice for a little bit, but I'm kind of over that little Range Rover now. Shit, they can have that sucker back. I'm just I'm just waiting to get it under to where I can where it makes sense to trade it in, because I think I'll be upside down like $5,000. So I gotta pay it probably for at least another year before it makes sense to trade it in. Because I've only had it a year. I haven't even had it. I've had it a little over a year. I got it last June. So yeah, but now I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to go get me a pickup truck. I'm ready to go to Home Depot every day. Look, I don't need no damn Range Rover. I need a pickup truck now. I'm ready to go buy these properties and put some drywall in my pickup truck. Like, I'm ready to go buy some properties and put some drywall in my pickup truck. You heard me? Had that damn Range Rover. Shit, I'm over that sucker. Oh, I said the moment I'm out of my upside down, they is getting that car back, baby. So yeah, he's holler at me. He talking about I got 4 years. I'm in California though. I can file taxes in all 50 states. I am a registered e-file agent with the IRS. So I can file your last 3 years of taxes electronically. We don't mail in taxes for the last 3 years. Anything over 3 years, I can fax to a department that I have connections with. So I don't do much mailing in, but I can electronically push your 2024, 2023, and 2022 taxes through electronically. And I can file taxes after October 15th. So I can file taxes all the way up until like the second week of November is when they shut the e-file system down for individuals. And then I file business and corporate taxes all the way up until the second week of December. But you can't go on TurboTax and still file. You can't. They'll tell you that the system is cut off after October 15th. So you got to do it through an e-file agent. And I'm an authorized e-file agent with the IRS. So holla at me, man. Let's get you in compliance, man. Okay. I got clients in Cali. So that was what I was talking about. That was me answering Sopa why. What do I think about home ownership? Now, Chad, I don't know if you're still on here. You said what kind of business, but I don't know when you were asking me that, Chad, you might be gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip that because I haven't seen you say anything else. Oh no, there you go, Chad. I'm sorry. I didn't see the bottom of your comments. I had to scroll all the way down to see it. You still on there? You asked me this at 10:30, almost 30 minutes ago, Chad, of what kind of business. So if you did I answer that at some point in this last 40 minutes already for you? Let me know if I still need to answer that for you when you was asking. And she said facts. Yes, I must was saying something that you like. That's why I love y'all on YouTube. Y'all know I love my fellas. Y'all know I love my fellas. I be trying to put y'all on game because I want y'all to win. I promise I do. These females be out here talking so much jack about y'all and making six figures. I want all of y'all to make $1 million. I want y'all to make multiple six figures so you could tell these brides, I'm good. Look, they be out here listening to these chicks. He needs to make six figures. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. Well, I'm about to make sure y'all men making six figures, okay? Because y'all going to have multiple properties and buildings. So they can't say nothing to you about your money. I need y'all money to be on point. Okay? I want more of my men in this country to be financially stable and able to do what y'all want to do. So y'all can tell them brides, because some of y'all got to go live with these chicks and you only living with them because you might be having a bad time right now, fella. I understand. But we about to get your weight up, okay? So then we was doing 4K, 42K. So okay, y'all, Yeez was doing that. Yeez was the one on here putting the numbers in, I'm seeing. Healthy said, so someone can get more than one mortgage. Yes, Healthy. This is how the banks works. Once they see, that's why I said that first property that you bought, remember the first property that's bringing in the $6,000, but then after they pay the mortgage and after we take off the $500 water bill, we're going to clear about $3,500. You can go to the bank and show that asset because now that building is an asset. One, that building is worth $300. It's probably worth more than that because remember, property appreciates unlike cars. That's why we don't buy no raggedy cars. Okay. Property appreciates. So when you bought that house, let's say you bought a house in 2020, whoever bought a house in 2020, maybe bought that house for $3,000. That house today could be worth $400,000, $500,000. When I bought my family house was worth $99,000. That house today is worth $200,000 in 5 years. You get what I'm saying? I'm up 100 bands in 5 years. That's just sitting on the property. You get what I mean? So, and if I was getting a amount of rent that I really should be getting, I'm not even charging the full rent because I got a family member in there. But if I was getting market rent, I would be making a nice profit on that property because that property damn near paid off. So my mortgage is like less than $600. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so yes, in a nutshell, yes, you can have more than one mortgage. As long as you can pay the mortgage, they will give you the mortgage. And this is the thing, mortgage companies, they include that. So if you have a 3-unit building, they look at that $6,000 as income. That helps with your income. I got a client who worked at work. I'm not gonna say where they work at, but I got a client that make about $60,000 a year. She got 2 3-unit buildings, 2 of them from her W-2 job. And she got that because the buildings itself is an asset and she got income coming in. You get what I mean? So when you buying a mortgage, they look at that. Even if you don't have a tenant in the building, they look at what the potential income is. And they will roll that into consideration to give you the mortgage. Yes. You can have multiple. I'm going into a whole nother other subject that I wasn't trying to go in, so I'm gonna stop right there. But yes, fourplex for fourplex or a few duplexes to start first. So with that one single, so what I was saying, the reason why I said the fourplex, and yes, I'm glad you put that in there, Mr. Leisure. You giving them the notes of what I was saying, right? Fourplex or a few duplexes to start first. So the fourplex, you in Illinois, and I think in most states, I think this is under HUD. If you are doing first-time home buyer program, and let me take out first-time home buyer because you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. They just have different programs for first-time home buyers. Like they got different grants, money, stuff like that, right? But you don't have to be a first-time home buyer. You can do a conventional loan, but sometimes the down payment is more. With a HUD loan, it's on average like 3% down. So if you had a $300,000 building, on average, they want you to come with $9,000 at the table. But again, there are companies, there are grants that you can get. If you got a good lender and a good real estate lady or man, they're going to put you in tune with the people that got the grant money. Like in Chicago, NHS is giving up to like $15,000 for home ownership. BMO has a up to $30,000 down payment assistance program. That's the bank I used to work for, BMO Bank. So every bank and lender has different programs, right? So just depending on where you are in your city, in your community, that's what you're gonna, that's what you'll figure out. And if you don't know how to figure it out, then maybe I can work with you depending on what state you in. We got a couple of people, right? But all of that, you get what I'm saying? All of that helps you. So now you don't necessarily have to come out of pocket. The job alone is going to help you. So should I only invest in should only invest stock, shares, crypto? Now, don't get on here asking me about stocks and shares and crypto. Do I say you should invest in crypto? Yes, I do. I'm not a real big stock heavy person. I have the S&P 500. I don't really invest in the individual stocks. I think I got a little bit of Nike that I bought back in the day as a kid. But for me, I do the S&P 500. I just stick to the S&P 500 because that's the top 500 companies. And the S&P 500 on average has given 15 to 20% every year the last 20 years, except for 2 years. And that's when the market crashed in 2018, I think in 2008, and then again in 2016 or 2018. Them the only times the S&P 500 went red. Other than that, the S&P 500 has been green, 15 to 20% every year. So I'm a more safe person when it comes to, stock. But crypto, I'm into crypto. I'm into crypto all day. I'll give y'all a couple of pages that you could follow on crypto. I'm no expert, so I'm not going to get on here talking too much about it because I'm not no expert, right? So I don't like to talk about crypto on here too much because I'm not no expert, but I will tell you the coins that I have. So I'm just going to tell you them real quick, and then we're going to get on up off of here because it's almost midnight. But y'all lucky y'all YouTube, because if I'm going to stay long anywhere, it's going to be here. I'm going to log into my crypto account. So definitely get y'all some XRP. I'm going to type them in. XRP. And look these up. Don't just listen to me, okay? But XRP, this is one that they're talking about that they're saying is going to possibly go to like $7 to $10 like within the next couple of months before December. And you don't have to invest a lot. If you want to just see what it is, you can start with $50, $100, $1,000. Like you don't have to put a whole lot of money in if you don't want to. Now, I will say this. The world and the society that we're going to a cashless society. Okay? Crypto is the new wave, y'all. Banks are here. But if you notice, even with Trump, even with a lot of the big box companies, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, they now have a whole crypto department on their website. So you got to pay attention to when these big box companies, when these major companies do it, you all got to pay attention as the Americans to follow their lead. Whatever they're buying, it's this website that I got. I'm going to give y'all that on the next one. But it's this app that I got that shows you all of the what are they? Your elected officials, like congressmen, like Nancy Pelosi, who Nancy Pelosi buys. Like any crypto or any stocks that she buys, the app shows it. The app shows you, I think it's the top 100 like congressmen and Senate, what they're buying. So I look at that. I pay attention to that. And you have a president right now that is into crypto. That's why he has his own coin. So don't be mad at him. Follow him. Like, it's mostly men on my YouTube right now. And that's why I like y'all. Because y'all not emotional like women be on here. Like, some of these women be extra emotional. I study Trump. I've been studying Trump for the last 10 years. Once I found out that man bankrupted 7 businesses and still is a millionaire, that's why I follow and study him. Before he became a president, I was following and study him. I follow and study other people, okay? That because I'm paying attention to the money. I'm not in my feelings. I'm paying attention to the money. I'm watching the money, and I'm figuring out how they moving around here. And that's another reason why you want to start a business, because you can bankrupt as many damn businesses as you want to in this country. That's why they say that man was not paying people and doing that. Not saying that it was ethical. That was hell of wrong. But that's the way. You put all this stuff in assets and debt in these businesses, and then when you can't handle it no more, you say, hey, I got to bankrupt the company. Y'all don't know how many of these big box corporations done bankrupt companies, and then they start another company, and y'all don't even know it's the same damn company. They just ain't teaching you the game. I'm on here teaching you the game. That's it. All right. So XRP, I bought SHIB. SHIB is number 5 on the list. Now, the reason why I'm going to say SHIB is under a penny. I bought 61 million shares of SHIB. If SHIB goes to 1 penny, not if, we're going to speak this into existence. When SHIB, baby, because it's coming. I know it is. I know it is. Just how that Bitcoin hit. Y'all remember when Bitcoin was like 7, 8, 9, 10,000. I'm so mad at myself now for not buying more Bitcoin, but it is what it is. I can't be mad at myself. It was a lesson learned, but I'm paying attention now. I still got a little Bitcoin. I still may buy a little bit more, because regardless, whatever you buy, it's still gonna grow, right? I think I bought $300 worth of Bitcoin, and it went up to like $3,000 or something. So as long as Bitcoin is growing, you still gonna get into Bitcoin. But I wouldn't put a whole lot. I ain't even gonna say that. Don't let me tell you that. Do your own research. But I would still buy crypto. I would look at a coin that is really low right now, like in the dollars, pennies. Like XRP is under $3 right now. Litecoin, when Litecoin, somebody told me to buy Litecoin in 2019. Litecoin was under $3. Litecoin is like $200 a share right now. Another reason why I kick myself in the ass. Because I'm like, everybody was telling me to get into it, but I was sounding like some of y'all like, nah, I don't want to do it now. And now people over here are millionaires. Like, I literally saw Litecoin go from $2 to $3 to now Litecoin is $200. I literally saw Bitcoin go from like $3,000 and $4,000 to that shit being $121,000. Could you imagine how many people who have 10 shares of Bitcoin and it's 121 bands? They over 1 point, they almost at 2 million of 10 coins. If they own 10 coins of Bitcoin, somebody who own 100, you get what I'm saying? It's millionaires out here from Bitcoin, from Litecoin. So we got to pay attention to that. Crypto is going to make so many of us millionaires, it don't make no sense. So if you're paying attention to how they are spending their money and what they are putting their money into, you're going to always win. You're going to always build your pot. All right? I got to get out of here. It's going to be midnight, and I got to get up early in the morning, y'all. I'm going to go through your questions as I promised, though. What was the last one? Question: are you still in NIL space for financial literacy for the college athletics? If so, is the Tax Create Academy email a way to contact you? Yes, Mr. Leisure. So I am still doing the financial literacy for the young men in sports and entertainment under my Socks and Lose place. I just haven't set up a separate email. I'm working on a pitch deck right now. So probably by the end of this month, I'll have my website, my email up and all that stuff. But yes, I do. So you can just use my main email and I'll put it on here. The Tax Create Academy at gmail.com. Okay, I answered that one. Ye say 120K in California and still struggling out here. Gee, I know. I already know, Yees. I already know what it. And in Cali, y'all taxes is. I thought Illinois taxes was like. See, we both in blue states too. Cali and Illinois, we in these blue states. People in the red states have way better taxes. They have way better services. It just is what it is. People be hating on the Republicans with that, but that's the truth. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. That's why I'm moving to a Republican state. I'm going to either be in Florida or Texas or Georgia, but I'm definitely coming south. I'm ready to get the hell up out of Chicago. I'm so over Chicago. The mindset, the everything. So I'm coming to a red state, and I don't want to pay no state taxes. So Yeez, we got to go. You got to get up out of you say Texas too. Everybody ready to go. Everybody left California and went to Texas. I see so many Texas people on TikTok talk about Texas is full. We ain't got no more room. Y'all know that what they be on there saying. We ain't got no more room. Texas is full. That's why. Because everybody running from California high ass taxes, that blue state that don't give a shit about you, but they done gave all these, don't let me get started. How they done gave all these damn people from another country our damn reparations around this mob. But hey, that's a whole nother conversation. But get to it, Yeez. Okay, she's get your butt in Texas, man. And you say I am gay. See, you still understand. Oh, that's Chad. I'm sorry. Chad say I am gay. Hey, Chad, we ain't over here, whatever float your boat, man. We talking about the finances, okay? I don't mess with nobody and what they do in their personal life. I just want y'all to be I just want y'all to be financially literate, okay? Chad say, look, do what you do, Chad. Just get this money. And you saying I voted for Trump. Right. That's what I'm saying. Because we're not in our feelings. That's the difference. I'm not your average female. I've been around dudes my whole life. I hung around boys. I was a tomboy. I just look like this. Okay. But I'm not the average chick at all. I'm not in my feelings. I was not one of them black women that voted for no damn Kamala because I already knew what Kamala did. That's the reason why our country is the way it is, because of Biden and Kamala. Let's be clear. Too many people be voting for some damn color and all that other crap. She was not about to be my president. I wasn't voting for her ass. She can't lead nothing. You done left my border wide open. How the hell I think that you gonna run this country? Girl, bye. Get up out of here. You and Biden old asses. Look, that's why I say we all need to separate. We need to be independent. We're gonna see what Trump do these next 4 years because he promised a lot of stuff, but I done already said. A couple of my friends that went red, I said, look, I'm independent. I didn't personally vote for either one, but I didn't vote actually at all. I normally do vote, but I did not vote. I'll be honest. I didn't vote. I was on a little fence, but I ain't mad at Trump. I kind of like him. I ain't even mad at him, to be honest. I mean, some stuff he do, I don't agree with, but a lot of stuff he do, I do agree with. So it is what it is. Hey, like you say, let's get this paper, man. Let's get this paper, man. Okay. I think the last question that I saw was Dead Knight saying, y'all, some of y'all names out here, I'll be like, where do y'all get these names from? Like, I understand Mr. Leisure. Why Ned's for Sheezy? What do y'all be getting these damn username from? Chad got Chad Gentleman Reincarnated. Carnated is all caps at the end. I love it though. And then he got Dead Knights. Is that what I'm reading it right? Dead Knights Zizzin. Y'all be using them damn gamer names. That's what y'all be doing. That's what y'all be doing, probably using these different names over here for gamers. Yeezy got why Neezy for Cheesy. I'm just really reading that. I love it though. I love it. He said, all right, I'm on your website now. I'm about to tap in with you. Cool, no problem. AI tech and microchip companies with crypto, only Bitcoin, XRP, and my dark horse is Dodge. Okay, your dark horse is Dodge. So my dark horse is Sheeb. I really do think Sheeb is gonna hit. Some people say it won't, market cap, all that stuff. So I look at the top 20. I look at the top 20 ranking. And Sheeb is at 5 now. Sheeb used to be like down the totem pole a little bit more. It was at one point it was over 20. Like Then I done raised it to the top 20. Now Sheeb is at, I think, number 5. The last time I went on there. I don't know. I ain't been on there in a couple of weeks, y'all. I don't check it all the time because that's one thing, you know, crypto is kind of like stocks. You hold on to it. You don't want to be looking at it every single day and checking it all the dang on time. So I haven't checked it in a while. But that's what I look at. I look at the top 20 and then just pick from there. But my cousin, he's younger. He's 30. So like his generation, they really know. So I listened to him. So he told me to buy XRP. He told me to buy some more Ethereum, which I really wish I would have bought Ethereum earlier this year when it went down to like $2,500. Now Ethereum is over like what? It was like 4,200, 4,300 last week. Y'all get what I'm saying? If you bought into a stock that was 2,300 and the motherfucker go up to 4,300, that's a $2,000 fucking increase. You get what I'm saying? Like it's, baby, you can't tell me about crypto. I'm about to start putting half my money into crypto. But then I also put some money in the S&P 500 because that's a safer product for me. Okay. So do what works best for you, but do your research as well. I'm going to say that. All right. So that's it. We're going to get off of here. It's almost midnight. I stayed on here 2 hours with y'all, but I love y'all. All right, fellas. Have a good night. Those of you that need me, contact me. Hopefully you got into the trust workshop. If not, go ahead, take the number, take a screenshot, something right now. Get in this class because the other thing about this class, it's a man. It's a man that's teaching y'all. Invest in it. I'm telling you, Chad, I promise you. Go ahead and invest in it right now while it's still at 0.0004. When I got in Sheeb, it was like 8 zeros in front of it. 8 zeros to the penny. Now we down to 4 zeros. We only need to hit a penny, Chad. I bought 61 million shares. I think it was like $493 for 61 million shares. If it hit a penny, Chad, a penny, not a dollar, not a dime, a penny. If it hits a fucking penny, that's $600,000. If it hits a dollar, we gone to the moon, G. You get what I'm saying? Buy you some damn sheep. Buy you some damn sheep. It's on my booking link, Chad. My phone number, my business phone number. It's on my booking link. All right. I put it on here. It's on my booking link. My office number. Buy you some damn sheep, Chad. I know I'm a vibe, y'all. I know. I'm the coolest chick in the world. I promise I am. Book me. I invested it 3 years ago. Haven't checked my Coinbase account. Okay, if you invested 3 years ago, we invested around the same time. Go on there and check your Coinbase account. Sheep had went up for a little bit. I remember Sheep almost was up to like 7 bands at one time. I should have pulled some out then. I'm using Coinbase and Crypto.com. Those are the main two I use. I'm going to put the other one down here, Crypto.com. So yes, I use Coinbase, but I also buy on Crypto.com. Coinbase have a little bit of higher fees than Crypto.com. Crypto.com, to me, the fees are a little lower. But Coinbase is still good. They're not as bad as some of the other places. But those are my main two that I buy from, Coinbase and Crypto.com. Yes, I'm telling you. I've been following other, and that's why I didn't tell y'all, the guy that I'm following on TikTok. So the guy that I follow on TikTok that do crypto is, let me see. It's Blockchain, I think. Blockchain. He really good. He always going on there. It's a couple of people, but the guy that I trust to listen to, I'll say, his name is Blockchain something. They took his page down recently, so he had to make a new page. Okay, so his page is under Blockchain Bullhorn. Y'all won't be able to see this. Yeah, y'all can't see it because of damn light. You can't see it. Blockchain Bullhorn. I'm gonna type it in here. Blockchain Bullhorn. I think right now he got like 89,000 followers, but he had like 700,000 followers on his other page. To the moon. Let's go. And when we hit our first million in this crypto, we're gonna have a meetup. I'm having a meetup out the country somewhere. I've been saying everybody, when we make our first million, we're gonna have a meetup. I want to meet up in, like, I don't know. I want to go to the motherland. I want to go to Africa, but we may do London or Beijing or something. I don't know, but we're going to ball out. We're going to have a boat. We're going to have a yacht. We're going to meet up and we're going to get to this bag. Because the man that's going to teach all this on Monday is a beautiful Black man. I love me some Gary. Gary is very smart, very educated. And I don't meet that many men of color, I'll say. A lot of times when I meet men in financial services that I've learned stuff from have been kind of older white men. To find a man of color that's my age, that's doing and sound and kind of, he's way more polished than me. I'm a little hood still. I be on here talking a little ghetto with y'all. But Gary, you know, he has a different type of aura about himself, but he has taught me this trust and estate planning. And y'all gonna learn and understand that a lot. And he know crypto too. He know stocks. That man know a lot. And he about to show you how to put all of this and protect your assets in a trust, baby. We finna be rich, okay? We finna be rich. You say all they need to do is do that press release they are pulling out of it from the market. But see, that's why too, Elon. That's why we bought. Did you buy when Elon did that tweet on Twitter? See, I bought Sheeb right before Elon did that tweet. I think I bought Sheeb like that week before, and I had only bought maybe like, I don't know, $100 worth. Then when Elon put that Sheeb on Twitter, he had that, I think it was Doge, and then he talked about Sheeb. Baby, I went back on that and bought another million. I think I bought 1 million. So then I bought another 60 million. So that's why I said, okay, 61 million shares, if it goes to a penny, that's 600,000. I could flip 600,000. I could buy a couple of buildings with that. I'm good. Right? So that's just a penny, y'all. That's not even $1. All right? So I could talk about that all day. I've been getting into this crypto space. So that's who you're going to do. You're going to look up blockchain, and that's who you're going to talk to. No. I'm already following Blockchain Bullhorn. So why is it saying that I'm not following him? This might not be the page, y'all. Hold on. Let me make sure. Because he be having so many people making fake pages of him. Why is it saying I'm not following him? Because I was already following him. His name is Calvin Harris, but his company is called Blockchain Bullhorn. But I want to make sure that this is his website. It's so many freaking fake pages of him. That's the only thing with. It's so many freaking fake pages of him. That is the only thing with this damn internet. These people be stealing your name and likeness. Because it's even happening to me. People got fake pages of me. Be asking people for money and stuff. Broke ass. That's why I tell people, I don't never ask you for no money. I'm not going to be in your inbox sending you no messages. Let's see if this is his website. I know what his website look like. So if this is his website, then this is his page. This is his page. This is his website. Okay. So it is. It's Blockchain Bullhorn, the way I gave it to you. And he got 89,000 followers on there right now. Okay. Right. I think you subscribe. So he got 89,000 followers on there right now. Because when you click on his link to his actual page, it's going to take you to it's going to take you to his blockchain. I don't use WhatsApp for crypto. Right. He don't use WhatsApp. He don't have a Telegram. Yep, this is his page. It's got to be. Because this is real link. Because I've been to his website before. So when you click on his website, it's got this shadow back here, I guess, because of the computer. Y'all can't see it. It's going to be too. Yeah. But this is his website because I bought one of his programs. I bought this cheat sheet guide. He sell it for $27. So this is his page because the fake pages is not going to have his real link on there. They ain't going to want him to get the money. But that's his real website, Blockchain Bullhorn. That's what it's called, Blockchain Bullhorn. And it's got 89,000.3 followers on there. And then when you click on it, you're going to see that it says his link on there. And it's going to say blockchainbullhorn.com. That's his real website. Okay. So make sure you following the right page. 89,000 followers. All right. I got to go, y'all. I'm out. See you next time, fellas. Love you. Let's get this money. Let's get this money. Let's get this money. And you said Keenan Grace. Okay, hold on. Somebody said Keenan Grace and Intel advice on investments. No BS explain. Okay, I'm about to write him down. Keenan Grace. Keenan Grace. Thank you, Chad. Keenan Grace. Bye, y'all.